What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Matt Llewellyn and Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. We got a great show planned for you guys this evening. We originally had it scheduled for yesterday evening, but it did not work out for us. It was not in the cards. I was at work too late, so we had to push it out. Apologies for that, but we are back tonight. Training camp is here. Football is back. They're in shorts. They're not hitting yet, but it's still back. That's all right. We are actually 7 days away from the first football game of the 2024-2025 NFL season. If you guys care about the Hall of Fame game like I do, I know you're equally as excited. I make it a thing. Get some pizza, wings, beer. Enjoy it. Make it out of it. The game sucks, right? But it's just what it signifies. Football is officially back. Before I toss it over to my guys, if you're watching on X, make sure you hit like and repost. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Do us a solid. Go to 49ersHive, hit like and subscribe. Go to Nothing But Niners, hit like and subscribe because we are live from both channels. We really appreciate the support. Now that I got that out of the way, Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to talk football, and we actually have some things to talk about related to what's going on the field. So, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
Exactly. No more hypotheticals. No more crazy questions. Mike, how you doing?
All is well, but you scared the crap out of me. This will not be a repeat of the 2024-2025 season. This is the 2025-2026 season. So we are not reliving that hell of a year that we just had last year. But yeah, no, I'm really excited, man. I'm happy to be on with the guys, man. So let's have some fun, fellas.
It's funny you say that. I was just telling Ashley this morning, like last night on Instagram, highlights from the 49ers-Packers divisional round came up on my phone. And in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, that was from January. No, that was from last January. Like, it just like this whole last season was such a blur. I'm sure, like most other 49ers fans, you just immediately put it out the back of your head and don't even think about it because it was just such a crappy season, and things did not go the way that we wanted them. But that's all right because we are here. We're going to talk about how the 49ers improved. Maybe they didn't improve in some areas. I see a comment here from Mark Cisneros. Who won the thumbnail without a helmet? Is that Cowing? Mike made the thumbnails for us. Please tell us, Mike.
So that is actually Nayor. That is Isaiah Nayor. So, yeah.
There you go.
Cowing is wearing number 19 now. So I put a current picture of Cowing in 19.
I can't see the thumbnail since we're live, so I wasn't sure. I vaguely remembered it when I just switched it, but I'm like, who is on there again?
Yeah. Yep. All the receivers. So
Cowing, Nayor. Nair? Nair?
I don't know.
And Jennings.
There you go. I popped it up in the thing if you want to click it real quick. It'll probably take over the whole screen. So, well, it depends on which one. I don't know which one he sees, but one of them says football is back, and then the other one says training camp is here. But, yeah, I put them in different orders. That's all.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Training camp is here, and the 49ers are back, I believe. Yesterday was the first day. So we are officially talking about football, not some other BS, like I said, hypothetical situation, yada, yada, yada. You guys, I saw are going in the chat. I'm a little behind because work's been crazy. The training camp stat keepers are in full effect. I mean, we are 2 days out, and we got interception totals, completion percentage. Will this ever end? Matt, you just asked this question last show, one of like the bets, right? What do you think that there's really a value in any of that, like from actually tracking these things from a fan standpoint? Obviously, if you're a coach, maybe it means a little different to you, but do you guys take anything? Like if you were to be told right now, Purdy threw 5 interceptions today, Matt, does that mean anything to you?
No, it means less than nothing. If that were to be believed, then J.J. McCarthy is going to be MVP this year, and Caleb Williams is going to get benched after week 2. Like, camp stats don't mean anything. You're talking about, again, on air, in shorts, no install. We have no idea what the situation is, what the coaches want to see, what they're looking at. It's not necessarily like the play or whatever. They could be looking at something specific. They might want to see how a defender defends a certain route or whatever, It's something to get clicks, and it's something for people to talk about. And you'll have two people be on, it'll be both sides of the same coin. One guy is like, this guy sucks. Like he did this. And then the other guy will be like, well, there were these plays, but look at all this. And he did this and he did this. Or the next day when it's like, it's completely flipped the opposite. Then it's just like, well, this guy's really good. And it's like, don't put too much into that because there were people on the field that weren't necessarily there before. And it's just, we've been doing this shit for like the entire Shanahan regime, I feel like. And it's old, man. It's just old. It's like, get a new shtick. Like, do something different. If you want to do kicks, let's do kicks. I'd rather do kicks. At least that'd be something new.
Mike?
I agree with Matt. The kicks would actually be valuable because it's apparently not just going to be given to Moody, right? So the kicks would actually be valuable. And even Kyle Shanahan made it a point. No one asked him for the stats, but he was like, between the two kickers that we have here, they only missed one kick before, so it's going to be interesting, blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was cool for Kyle to even offer that information. But I do not that
Bosa said he was interested in it too. Somebody asked Bosa, like, you watching the kickers? He was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I'm watching it. Like, trying to figure out what's going on with it or whatever. Because, like, they knew last year that Moody was just a house on fire. So it matters to them, right? You get all the way down the field. Maybe the defense gets you a stop, and then to come away with nothing because your kicker can't hit anything, like that matters. Sorry, Mike.
No big deal. I just haven't seen the Bosa thing yet. So I did hear that Bosa was interested in it, but I didn't know what that was in reference to. But that explains it. He was at the podium today. But I do know why it's been happening since Shanahan has been here. It's because it's been constant quarterback turmoil. There were the people that wanted the Lance. There were the people that wanted the Jimmy Garoppolo. There were people that wanted Purdy. There were, you know what I'm saying? So it was constantly, then it was Purdy versus Lance, and it was Purdy versus Garoppolo. So there was that whole thing going on, and that's when it really kicked off. And what happened was those content creators that were logging them, they got a lot of clicks on those videos and articles that broke it all down. And so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I do get why they do it, but they have to realize that now it's not a quarterback controversy. So that stuff is not going to matter. And the truth of the matter is it didn't even matter then, right? Like the team had their mind made up on who they were going to put out there. It didn't even matter then. So that should just tell you exactly how much it doesn't mean. Now, I think it is interesting when you hear Isaiah Nayer, however you say his last name, no disrespect intended. It is interesting to see that he caught a pass, and apparently he was like triple covered, and like all the receivers that weren't involved on the play, like the team was like, ooh, and ahs, so that kind of stuff is cool because it builds confidence in a young guy, in a young rookie. But as far as like who threw it to him and all that stuff, like that kind of stuff, I couldn't really care less about. Get me to preseason. Let me see what's happening when they're actually trying. That's when I want to see, which quarterback looks good and which one doesn't and all that stuff. And even still, I sincerely doubt that Purdy's losing his job to anybody. So even that's not going to matter. But then we can at least talk about who we want as the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, we were tracking all of this. Was it last year that Trey Lance got traded?
No,
2 years,
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? So everybody was tracking all of the quarterback stats so quickly, or so thoroughly, and like so, that's an incomplete. Oh no, that's actually a throwaway. I'm not counting that as an incompletion. And then what happened before the season even started? He gets his ass sent to Dallas, and none of it even mattered.
Maybe it was last year. I think it was last year during training camp.
No, he wasn't with us for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, no, it was the year before. See, I did the same thing you did, where it felt like it was like last year, but it was actually the year before. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
So
we have completely MIB'd last year.
Dude.
Like it's gone.
They neuralized me, bro, because like I definitely am not looking to remember that for sure.
It got to the point where, I think I said this before, but like towards the end of the year, like probably after the Bears, maybe after the Rams Thursday night game, I told Ashley, like, hey, you don't have to block out Sundays anymore. Like, you could schedule things on Sundays that we can go get things done. I don't care because this season is trash. I do have Nick Bosa talking about the kicking competition, so I'm going to play that here.
So was that totally a boy on the kicking? In the past, you've had like one kicker kick one day and another kicker kick. It's switched up with competition at all. It's a little different. Seeing competition at all, it's a little different this year, right? As you're having them one kick, the other guy kicks.
I actually ain't paying attention to it, but can't lie.
Why is it?
No, it's kind of exciting.
I think it's very clear. We all know why.
That dude said why, as if he was gonna be like, because Jake Moody was ass last year.
Right,
like, what's he supposed to say?
I rewatched the Tampa game, the 49ers Bucks game. I cannot believe the 49ers won that game. Like, Jake Moody, didn't he miss 4 kicks that game?
Three field goals and an extra point.
3 field goals and an extra point. Yeah.
And people wonder why Deebo choked him out. Obviously, he's not right, but it's like, at some point the offense has to be like, how much more can we do? Other than obviously finish in the end zone. But it's like, you would think as an offense, if you get close enough to be within field goal range for your kicker, he can knock it through, especially you just spent a high draft pick on a kicker. So,
and imagine if Moody loses this competition, all 3 players involved in that scuffle during that game will be gone. Debo's gone, Tabor Pepper's gone, and Jake Moody could potentially be gone. That's like a completely different look for the special teams.
So that Bosa clip that you put, you don't have to put it back up, but the way he was standing, is he just trying to show off his physique? Like, that is a very awkward way. He had his thumb down, but towards his, like,
he also had his cell phone tucked into his front Z's.
But who stands like that? Like, did he do the whole presser in that? I haven't seen. I'm gonna have to do a breakdown, but like, that is such an odd way to stand. It doesn't even look comfortable. Like, you guys just like try, just put your hand the way that he's got it. Unless he's massaging his side.
He's flaring them lats, baby. He knows what he's doing.
Like
he knows what he's doing.
I'm like, what? Who's? I got to see if he stands like that the whole presser. Now I'm gonna do a breakdown of that soon. So,
Matt, you mentioned, depending on who you listen to, is what you'll get different information. As far as like the quarterbacks, right? Like going back to Trey Lance versus Purdy. To be honest with you, it's like I'm watching a political breakdown or something. It's like we're talking politics, to where each side has their talking points and they're going to stick to it. And here's why the other side is wrong. And here's why it's like, this is football. Like, this is football. Can we just leave all of that shit at the door and just break down the X's and O's?
Same thing happened today during a breakdown of the thing. And it was like, Purdy played really well today, blah, 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 blah. And then it comes to like Mac Jones, because they were talking about that deep ball to Nayor. And it was like, Mac Jones throws with more anticipation than Brock Purdy. I'm not saying he's better. And it's just like, this is the same shit we do every single year. It's like one guy hates Brock Purdy. The other guy glazes anything that the 49ers do. It's just like, can we just... It's, people talk about the horseshoe theory of politics. This is the horseshoe theory of 49ers content creation. It's just like those, we all know who they are, but those two are basically touching asses on the issue. You know what I mean? Like, they're that close. It's just like two sides of the same coin. Like I said, you got the good side and the evil side. Yeah, I know, right? It's now just Kith. Yeah. All right, Mike Tyson.
It's called a moon. It's called a moon landing. Anyone watch? What's it called? Modern Family.
Oh,
no Modern Family watchers. Yeah. Cam took Jay to the spa with him or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Like... right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny though. I just think that yes, this is important, and somebody made a good point in the chat. I didn't see it. I didn't bring it up when it was commented, but like, this is the time you want your quarterback to kind of push the envelope and really try and get those tight window throws in and really test his abilities, because you don't want him to be playing it safe in July and August, and then come September, he's just now testing his abilities. Like, no. We want to know what you can do in the offseason when nothing matters, when it's just, Niners on Niners.
Well, and specifically to the 2 picks that Brock Purdy threw yesterday, one like came out of his hand, like was gonna. I mean, that's again, he's got small hands. That's going to happen sometimes. Like, that's just the nature of the beast. That happens to every quarterback. I've seen the ball, squirt out of Patrick Mahomes' hand inadvertently. Like, it happens, right? It's football. But and the other one was D Winters undercut a route. But like, when they asked him about it, he said, "I remember this play from OTAs. I knew how to defend it." And so he just jumped a route. Like, that's good play from D Winters. I'm happy to see that, right? Like, what if Brock is just like, all right, we're throwing the slant right now because that's what this play calls for, or whatever. Like, who cares? And at the same time that you're killing Brock Purdy over this interception, you're glazing Mac Jones for this throw. And it's like, that throw was in triple coverage, dude. Like, yeah, it was complete, but don't confuse results with process. Because, like, what the fuck? If there's 3 guys on him, then where the fuck are the other 8 guys that you could, like, throw to? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, be consistent with the critique. If you're gonna kill one guy over making a bad decision, you got to do it every time.
And I think Kyle in his presser from yesterday broke down how you should really be looking at it, right? Like, he praised someone who dropped a would-be pick six. He anticipated the throw, and he made the cut, but he mistimed the jump, and then it ended up being a completed pass over him. But he was like, if he had came down with it, it would have been a pick six. So he praised the player. I forget who it was now. It was one of the safeties, and it wasn't Brown. So it was what's the guy's name? Yes, there you go. It was Pinnock. So, like, Kyle's at least viewing it the right way. He didn't even talk about the quarterback that was making the throw. It was more about the guy who should have had the pick six, and like it was like that was a great play. Oh, they're saying it was Upton Stout. I thought maybe it was Stout. I don't know, but I thought it was. Yeah, there you go, Upton Stout. Fine. But Kyle was praising him. Is the point though? It's like, forget, like Matt said, the process and the play and all that stuff. Like, it was great play recognition. He said it was great coverage, and it should have been a pick six. So he praised them even though he didn't make the play. It's just showing that these guys are in the right place at the right time. And that goes back to what Matt was saying, the processing of the play. And there's 2 sides, right? Like, if the offense has a really bad play, that means the defense made a really good play. Right. So it depends on what you're looking for, and I'm all about the defense getting better. So I want to hear the offense being terrible personally. That's what I want to hear.
So, real quick, Jacob Cowing, day 1, has a hamstring strain. What was the word they used it? Pulled his hamstring.
He pulled his hamstring, yeah.
And just yesterday, Kyle Shanahan said, I thought Jake had one of the best OTAs out of anybody on our team in terms of the most improved and the most prepared. It's unfortunate, especially as a wide receiver. We know how much these hamstring injuries can linger if not treated carefully. I mean, thankfully, we're sitting here July 24th talking about this and not like September 2nd. Any concern long-term for this, Matt? Is it something we're going to be like, hopefully he's still clearing? And
I mean, hamstrings can take a while. It sucks, right? Like, you don't want to see that go down. But again, knock on wood, everybody, it could be worse. Miami has people dropping like flies. They had an offensive lineman have to get airlifted, what looks to be like a neck injury. They airlifted it to the hospital. They came out. It had to have been a neck injury. They came out today and said he had feeling in all his limbs. That's typically what that means. And then their cornerback, I'm blanking on the name right now, tore his ACL. So it's like, it could be way worse, you know. And again, it looks like Ricky Pearsall will be back. I think they're saying Sunday is going to be he's going to come off the pup and practice. There are receivers in the room. I didn't realize, I don't know if you guys realized this. Did you guys remember that we had Russell Gage on this roster from the Falcons?
That's funny. I remember him from the
he's
Bucs.
On this Yeah. was he on the Falcons or the Bucs? One of the two.
He was on both, but
yeah, he was on the Falcons. Yeah. I didn't even realize he was there. And, you know, if Nayor's going to do something, you know, Jordan Watkins, whatever, there are people that can fill the bodies. But Cowing, the further he, you know, falls behind, the harder it's going to get to see him on the field, and he does need the reps. So that part of it is a little bit unfortunate. So
we're talking about wide receivers. I had this saved for a little later in the show. We might as well pull it up now. This was from the Up and Adams show earlier today. It's a little minute.
I went on a visit
Gabe
there.
Davis,
it was awesome.
Talk about the 49ers.
I went on a visit there. It was awesome. I have a lot of teammates from UCF and previous players like Mac Jones and Isaiah Hodgins that were there. So definitely a team that I'm interested in for sure. San Fran is a nice spot. It's a great team with great players. Talked to Christian, talked to Greg and all them, and I met George, and I talked to a lot of the people out there, and it's awesome. San Fran's definitely a spot that I'm looking at. Shanahan's the man. He knows how to call an offense, right? And they just got a lot of great weapons around there. So
they need a deep ball threat. All I'm saying, it's easy math for me. I'm no coordinator, but
hey man, listen, I give props to those guys. Those guys been making some plays. Jennings was making hella plays when he had to. It was awesome to watch. And you know, Ayuk's a stud. He's a true number one player. And got a lot of respect for his game. So definitely a team that interests me because I like to be around great players like that. It's definitely a great opportunity.
First things first, shout out to Coach Yak because he was the only one that had tweeted he actually came out for a visit. And like it was never really confirmed. Like it was just kind of like, oh, I think maybe somebody spotted him at an airport. And Gabe Davis, this is the first confirmation I've seen of it because the 49ers didn't announce anything. Schefter, Rappaport, nobody said anything until I'm seeing Gabe Davis say it. So he was correct when that came out in like May or whatever. He is, just like the chat says here, Big Brick 84. He's the only free agent wide receiver that I think would actually move the needle for the 49ers. Maybe I could see like a Keenan Allen, but his age would really like hinder that. I think he could come in and be a productive receiver for the 49ers for a year or two at least, especially with Ayuk's injury, now Cowing's injury, Jauan Jennings wanting more money. Hey, why not? Just throw that out there. Why are you laughing, Mike?
He's going to make no money, by the way, if he comes here. He has to know that.
Yeah.
Like, just him doing what he did on the Kay Adams show today lets me know that the well is dry. Like, he's actively saying, like, yeah, I would love to come there. Like, you want to sign me? Like, I'm ready to sign. Like, sign me, please. Like, dude, you're getting vet minimum. Like, that's what you're going to be on at least a 1-year prove it deal. Like, that's what you're going to have to do. You're not getting the $39 million that you got going from, Buffalo to Jacksonville. You're not getting that. No. You're definitely not getting that. So, and by the way, isn't it interesting that he comes out and says he wants to go to the 49ers after news broke of Jacob Cowing's hamstring injury, and they have like a pretty similar skill set.
Yeah, well said. That's what I was gonna say. Like if Cowing ends up being like hurt longer than anticipated or something like that, I could see them making a move on Gabe Davis. But other than that, I mean, and Gabe Davis is a player that I've always championed. I know you guys probably know that I follow Buffalo ever since they got my guy Josh Allen over there, right? But he's a guy that has made some phenomenal catches and also dropped some really, really easy passes. So he's going to be just as consistent as a Jacob Cowing. So I wouldn't be mad if they got him, but I also don't want to see us moving on from guys like Cowing so soon. I would like to see us really develop some talent instead of like, oh, you just don't got it and we're going to move on to find someone else. Like, let's get the coaching staff together and let's develop these guys. And Zach, you asked what I was laughing at. Oh, I hope that didn't mess up my microphone. I touched the wire. But Big Brick 84, welcome back again. He was with me in the show last night. He said it's his first time catching the show and he's going to be back for more. So I want to salute him. But I just realized what his Avi is. I don't know if you guys want to pop up one of his comments again, just so you can see. It's too.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that it's after the monetization period. That's a shocking Avi, if you know what I mean.
Oh man, very creative.
You could say that.
Very creative.
That is a good point, though, Mike. At what point does signing a vet come at the expense of your younger players or rookies' development? Because there's only so many snaps, there's only so many wide receivers that can be out there at the same time on the field. Does a Gabe Davis get playing time over a Jacob Cowing or Jordan Watkins? I feel like he'd have to if you were to sign him. But that was a good point also, Matt, that, he's not coming for nowhere near that much money. And somebody said in the chat, the 49ers did sign 2 receivers actually this week. They signed Equanimous St. Brown. Equator St. Brown, and then they signed Quintus Cephas.
Syphilis.
This how you know these two ain't making the team, bro.
No.
Like some of these fucking names.
Isn't that Cowards get not a good football name? He's not going to be
I mean, I say
player.
that shit too. Like you can tell somebody's name and you're just like, eh. Like when you see Equanimous St. Brown, you're just like, nah. But when you see Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're like, ooh, okay.
They're brothers. So
the fact that his dad added Saint in there just because he thought it looked better on the back of a football jersey.
Yeah, in their dad's name is like John Brown, right?
It's Brown. It's just Brown,
yeah.
But he liked Saint.
He was a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Is he a Mike guy? Is St. Brown a Mike guy because of his size?
I'm all about bringing in the 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys. Absolutely. Like, get them in here. Well, yeah, that's true.
Ain't it funny how the older brother got the height and the younger brother got the talent?
Right. Yeah. It's odd, right? And both of them were on the Lions. That's the thing. Like he was with the Lions also. So, but what I do like about it is that he's got a I'm going to call it a pedigree for lack of better terms. Like you said, the father was a bodybuilder, and I can't remember, the mom did something also. I don't want to put it in.
She was a basketball
track
player.
and field. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah. So the mom was an athlete as well. I mean, it's in them, you know. And sometimes guys just need an opportunity.
Maybe I'm thinking of LeVar Ball's wife, but I swear she was a basketball player. St. Brown.
I don't remember. I thought she did something athletic also.
Was it body? Oh wait, no, sorry. His I know his dad was a bodybuilder. What was she?
Let's see.
We're gonna find out for.
I know she's German.
I do remember that, yeah. Because I was watching what show was that?
She was just a student.
Wide receiver on
show?
Netflix.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she was just a student teacher.
Oh well, maybe not then. Okay.
Hear that, guys? Mike thinks teachers are nothing. I'm just kidding.
Clip that up and let it make the rounds. There you go. There you go. Insult half of my in-laws right now.
Right.
Oh boy.
All right. I have an interesting question for you guys, or I should say point, and then maybe I can get you guys' thoughts on it. I really think the improvements the 49ers made in the past 6 months allow them to be 2 positions or hits away from having a top 10 defense. And that is the linebacker next to Fred Warner, the corner next to Diamador Lenore. I should say opposite of Diamador Lenore. I think if they could find guys, either Nick Martin and I don't know who would be the second corner, the second year guy, I'm forgetting his name.
Green. Renardo Green.
Thank you. If those guys could hit, I really think the 49ers have a very, very talented defense. And we have a couple clips here of Bosa and Saleh talking about it. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Am I being overzealous? Am I being too optimistic here, too much of a fan? Or do you think that they could be that close to having a top-tier defense?
All right, I'll go first.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, yeah, no, I'm with you. I feel like you don't even have to have a second lockdown guy. If you do, it's a great luxury, right? But we know what Diamador Lenore is, right? And the stats came out at the end of the season, like over 200 targets. So we're going back 2 full seasons, not allowing a touchdown and things of that nature. The guy plays inside and outside and all that stuff. And Kyle talked about how hard it is to like make him stick to playing outside, right? Like he wants him to master it, and that's growth from the coaching staff. That's growth from Kyle. And he was like, as much as he doesn't want to, he wants to stay on whoever the best person is, and if that means going in the slot, he wants to go there. They don't want him to be that. They want him to master being the outside. But if we can just get those guys to hit, you're absolutely right, Zach. I think that this could be a very special defensive unit. And the schedule, it's gonna present some opportunities. It's gonna build some confidence in these guys. So they got to take advantage of it. I agree.
Matt, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I think the biggest worry for me is the safety spot. Like, that's going to be the big one. It's, again, if anybody could cover it, it's going to be Robert Saleh. I have faith in that at the very least. And then, Gus Bradley as well, helping him out. So between those 2 guys who have been around the league for a long time, they're going to be good at masking any, really ugly warts that the 49ers are going to have on defense. And, it's been talked about already that just the energy in the meeting rooms is different. That's going to go a long way. And you need that. You need that steady hand. You need that guiding hand. It helps that Nick Bosa has said that he wants to be, more of an active part of helping with the defensive line and being like a leader for that group. Because you got 3 other rookies on that line and a guy in Bryce Huff who, while he is familiar with Saleh's system, he's brand new to San Francisco. D. Winters needs to take a step up. You got rookie Nick Martin. At every level of this defense, you have a rookie that could potentially contribute serious snap counts for this team. So you need the steady hand at the top between Warner, Bosa, and the coaching staff to really take over and bring up those players. And you might see some struggles early, definitely, but you have to hope that eventually they'll turn the corner and pick it up. So they could be a very good defense. They could also struggle early. It remains to be seen. I'm hoping because the reports are that Mykel Williams looks explosive. Even Trent Williams is like, dude, it sucks base blocking against that guy. Like, his arms are longer than my legs. I saw a picture of Mykel Williams standing next to Nick Bosa, and he made Nick Bosa look kind of small. And I was like, damn, dude, he's a big dude. He's a big dude. And you get those two A gap monsters in Alfred Collins and CJ West, and the potential's there, especially against the run early, because run fit is one of the easiest things you can do on the defensive line. All you got to do is maintain your gap integrity, and then you're good. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be something to see. So hopefully they can get it done and kind of weather the rough patches and rely on the veterans and the coaching staff to really pull them up. But potential is there for sure.
I have a clip here of Saleh talking about Nick Martin, but I wanted to ask you guys: did you see Grant Cohn asking Kyle Shanahan about, are you willing to take the lumps and play the young players, even if it means you lose a game or two? Did you guys see that? Let me see if I can find the
clip. But that is such a Grant question.
Right? And Kyle's like, we're going to play the best player regardless of who that is. I'm not just going to play players because they're young.
Yeah.
And if they're bad.
And I don't know if you guys read it, but there was an article from Tim Kawakami where he sat down with Kyle Shanahan. And Tim Kawakami made it kind of come off as if, like, Shanahan knows that he's going to have to play rookies this year. And that's just how it is.
They acknowledged it at their joint presser. There's possibly 6 starting rookies on the defense alone, right? So he's acknowledged it already. But the way he answered Grant's question, I'm assuming you're going to pull that up. I don't know.
I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I could find it.
He told them straight up. He was like, yeah, I'm willing to play rookies, but it also depends on who's behind them, right? Because if the person behind them is a veteran that's better, we're going to play the better player. That's basically what he said. So it's not about a fear of playing, but we're going to play the best person. And if it happens to be the rookie, then cool. If it's someone that's a veteran, then they're going to get the playing time. So it's not just going to be, just because you're a rookie, you're getting the snaps. It's not going to work out that way.
Right. It came across my, I want to say, TikTok feed, but I can't. He didn't tweet it, so I don't see it. Anyway. I just thought it was a funny question, kind of way to pose a question. Of course, he's going to play whoever's best. He's not just going to play young players because they're young and lose games. All right, let's play this clip from Robert Saleh talking about D. Winters. I might have said Nick Martin earlier, so apologies, D. Winters.
Like any young guy, he's got a cool chance. I know that he's been battling injury, and that's kind of hampered his development a little bit. He's also had to sit behind Dre, and then Devondre came in and he had to sit behind him because he was nursing an injury. And so, again, just like any young guy, the only way they're going to get better is with reps. And so young guys like D, their growth can get stunted when they're sitting on the bench just watching. There's nothing like doing. And so he had an opportunity the last half of last year to get some reps in, and it just feels like every day he's learning something, again, just through repetition. So, knock on wood, hopefully he can continue to stay healthy and absorb every single one of these reps and learn all the nuance that's required to play linebacker. And I think if he does, he's going to be a fun player to watch. He's
By the way, I love the just the difference between what we've had and having Saleh back. It's really nice to see, but the coach speak, he's got a cool chance. It's like, yes, thank you. We're not just going to say he's going to get given it. He's got to go earn it. The opportunity is there. They did draft a linebacker with a semi, high pick. But the chance is there. It's up to D. Winters to make the most out of it. What are you guys' thoughts on D. Winters? Do you think he's got the favorite is the favorite, I should say, to be lined up next to Fred Warner or Nick Martin with his high draft spot?
I think ideally you would want D. Winters to start over Nick Martin because, again, that 3 are starting on the defensive line like day one. And let's be real, like those 3 defensive linemen are starting. They're going to be the best ones, talent-wise. So D. Winters been here for a couple of years, and like Robert Saleh said, he really was, I thought, to be on track I remember the first preseason game they played against Tennessee last year, and he looked like he was flying all over the field, and then he came out of that game nicked up. But he looked like the part. He looked the part. We were like, oh, we're cool, man. Like, he looks sideline to sideline. He's quick. He's getting to the ball. He's thumping. That's going to be the key for him, is staying healthy. So he should have the inside track, but like Salah said, it really depends on him being able to stay on the field. And like, the old cliche goes, the best ability is availability.
Mike, any thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big issue last year, not just with D. Winters or any of the other linebackers that were there, it was overcompensating for how bad the defensive line was, right? And just making sure that everyone's in place, right? Fred Warner was so hesitant last year, just not having, I'm not going to say not having confidence in his surrounding people, but like, which gap am I going to have to shoot if I have to play a run play, because the defensive line was just getting pushed all over the place, right? It made all of our linebackers look worse than what they actually are. And so when it was early in the season and everyone was playing with confidence, we were like what Matt was insinuating, right? Like, we feel good, like, oh man, we might have something here. And then as the defense got worse and worse, you saw the linebacker play get worse and worse. I don't think it's a coincidence. If we can go out here and get a competent defensive line, that's where it starts. If we get a competent defensive line, then those linebackers are going to be absolutely fine. And I do think that D. Winters has the nod right now for that role. But even if it happens to be Nick Martin instead, it's going to be three linebackers playing for a lot of the snaps anyway. So I want to see these guys be healthy. I want to see these guys get in a rotation. And, again, I want to see them have confidence when they go out there. And like I think it was Matt that said it, we're probably going to have three rookies starting. As long as they don't go out there and get a guy like Christian Wilkins, who apparently the Raiders are just letting go because of this foot injury. If the Niners make a move for a guy like him, then it's only going to be two rookies starting on that line. You know what I mean? But because he would be a proven veteran, Robert Saleh having to play against him twice a year, he knows exactly what that guy is. He's not going to let that opportunity pass if it turns out that he's healthy enough to come in here. And then all that does means is that it's going to be more development and more healthy bodies along that defensive line when it's time to rotate. So it's a win-win for the Niners no matter how you look at it. And those linebackers are going to reap the benefits of it, and those safeties.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see the Watkins thing unless he wants to, again, take like no money.
The whole thing is weird. Apparently he filed a grievance with like the NFLPA and everything.
That's the other aspect of it. This is going to be like stuck in legal for a long time. I don't know another team that's going to want to do that. They'll probably want that legal situation to be cleared first.
Well, the legal situation is going to have financial repercussions, right? So if the Raiders end up having to pay a portion of those guarantees, he might take a team-friendly deal to go somewhere where he thinks he's got a shot to not only start, but a team that can win. And go ahead.
I think I saw somewhere where he made the Raiders have paid him out $47 million already for like 5 games.
Yeah, but there's 32 and a half still remaining.
Sure. No, I understand that. I don't see how. I don't know. I think it's hard, and the team's just going to try to like litigate him into hell.
Yeah, and this is where the NFL has to really take a step forward and get a little bit closer to the NBA, or maybe this is why, right? Like, so we paid you all this money for only 5 games, right? So it depends on what side of the coin you're on. If you're a player person, then you want to see him get the money that he was guaranteed when he signed that contract from start to finish, right? Like whether he plays it all or not. Well, but if you're a person like the team, if you're of a team mindset and the organization mindset, I don't want my team to have to pay you the $70 million guaranteed and you only took 5 snaps for us. This injury was only supposed to take 4 to 6 months to recover from, and here we are almost a year later, and you're still not ready to go. Like that's a problem. That's a significant injury.
But also posting videos of himself dancing in the Raiders training room on socials and stuff. So like, again, if the Raiders have cause, then he is going to lose out on that money. And then it's like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he takes a team friendly deal just to attach somewhere, but I just don't think that they're going to go after somebody like that. He doesn't seem like he fits the style. The knock on him even coming out of Clemson was that he was kind of like a loose, lackadaisical following the rules guy. So,
whoa, okay, I see what you. I thought you meant.
Yeah, the knock on him is that coming out of college was that he was pretty undisciplined and kind of marched to the beat of his own drum, and like that won't play with the 49ers.
Okay,
we saw that last year with Devondre Campbell, and that shit's not going to fly.
Absolutely right, but. Yep. The production,
great player.
He's a monster against the run.
Monster. He's 100%.
Yeah, and not for nothing, he gets as many freaking pressures as Nick Bosa. So I mean, he's not a sack guy. He averages 3.5 sacks a season, right? So, but the pressures, he's averaging like 10, 20, 30 pressures a season. Like it's very different, and that's not what you normally get from a defensive tackle, not named Chris Jones or. I'm about to say rest in peace, but Aaron Donald. Yeah, like he's retired. Not rest in peace, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so like other than those two defensive tackles, that position doesn't warrant a lot of sacks, but he gets pressures up there with the best of them. So if he's available, I might bring him in at least to test his mentality, like to see how committed he is, and that's the game, right? He can come in and talk a really, really good game. They'd be like, oh yeah, we should sign this guy. And then once he's on there and he's got those guarantees in that contract, he might be like, oh yeah, fuck off. I got my money now. Like I'm going to work out when I want to work out and how I want to work out. And when the game comes, I'm going to play my way of playing. He could be another Jamarcus Russell. I don't know.
So I have another clip for you gentlemen to watch and react to. This is Nick Bosa discussing Robert Saleh and just how grateful he is to have him back.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a rookie, I didn't really know any better. So, yeah, having him back has been awesome. I've spent a good amount of time with him, played a little golf, and hung out in OTAs. So I got to know him a little more as a person, which is cool. And then just his commanding presence in the defensive meetings is what we needed. Yeah, I mean,
he's so you could tell just like relieved to have Robert Saleh back. We talk about additions, draft picks, but this might be the addition of the offseason for the 49ers, getting Robert Saleh back as defensive coordinator. I think his title is like assistant head coach, or isn't it like defensive head coach? Didn't he get some other title like that too? If you guys remember when he got hired.
I think Gus Bradley's the assistant head coach.
Got it. All right, he got like the head coach of the defense.
They're all like he's going to be running the show, and the oversight that Kyle would have normally is going to be less. Like that is going to be something that he's going to be a little more hands off, which I actually like. I feel like that'll allow him to cook more on offense. By just not having to, get in the ass of the defensive coaching staff like he seemingly has had to do or felt like he has had to do the last 2 seasons with Sorensen and then the year before. Fair or not with Steve Wilkes, we all know that Kyle definitely was feeling like he needed to step in there. And we know with direct, hey, come down from the booth. We want you on the field. And, hey, I don't like that play call. Do something different, It's going to be interesting to see, but I do think that it's a big move. And again, it's not just Saleh, it's Gus Bradley too. And I think with that, it's 2 guys that are renowned around the league for their prowess on the defensive side of the ball. So there was a video going around of Shanahan, Lynch, and Saleh on the field, and it looked like they were having a grand old time. Like the vibes are good, man. Yeah, Kyle looks fresh. Kyle looks fresh.
They're like damn near chest bumping and hugging each other out there, man. I mean, they were doing everything except holding hands and doing the ring around the rosy dance, right? Like those guys look like they're having a lot of fun. And to the Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley thing, when they first brought Saleh in and he finally had his presser, he talked about him versus Bradley and how they complement each other, right? And if you listen to how Robert Saleh described Gus Bradley, Gus Bradley sounds more like a Kyle Shanahan type of coach, right? Like Kyle is, I need you to run this route precisely. I need you to block this guy up to this point because it's going to open up something when this guy comes behind you and blah, 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 right? Like it's all about where you're supposed to be with the X's and O's and what that means. And Robert Saleh said that he's more of an emotional guy. Like this guy is the hot hand. I want him to stay out there because he's making plays for us, where Gus is like focused on the X's and O's and the positioning. And you were 5 you were 5 steps too far on this one, or you were 3 yards off when you should have been over that way. So they complement each other, and I think that's going to bode well for this team down the stretch, right? If they can balance that aspect and that mindset of coaching, this team, these players are going to really, really reap the benefits. And I think this defense is going to make a huge turnaround from what it was the last couple of seasons. Huge turnaround.
Also, I thought something was very notable. According to Kyle Shanahan, Jauan Jennings hasn't asked for a trade, has not requested a trade. I have a clip here of him talking about kind of the differences between how Jauan is going about it and maybe how certain players have in years past. Let me pull it up here.
In the the history of the past few years, does that move the needle at all in the minds of the coaches with the kind of guy you have in Jauan Jennings and maybe wanting to give him what he wants because he wants to give you guys what you guys want?
Yeah, I don't think we know Jauan and Jauan knows us. I think the other way makes it harder. But it's I don't really compare things to other years and other people. People have plans. It's a business plan. It's usually a plan between a player and agent, and I see it happen all over the league. It's happened with us, and it's something that I try not to get too worked up about because there's not always much I can do about it. So I always try to recommend them to.
Thought that was interesting. Obviously, the notes coming out of the first couple of days are Jauan's there. And not only is he there, he's participating, he's lively, he's dancing, he's having a good time. It doesn't look like a disgruntled receiver to me, a diva to me. It looks like a guy who maybe his agent put it out there, hey, I do want more money, and if you're not willing to pay me that, then maybe we should get moved. But he looks happy to be here, and he looks happy to play out his final contract. How do you guys see this getting resolved? I think we had asked this a couple weeks ago. Any changes now that Jauan did show up to training camp and is participating and cooperating, and there's no kind of weird standoff or weird vibes here? How do you guys, does that change anything to you guys? No?
Yeah, it does for me a little bit. Watching, I believe it was Grant that asked Kyle yesterday. He was like, "You hugged Jauan Jennings. What'd you say to him? When you hugged him at the start of practice." He was like, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" Maybe it wasn't Grant, but someone asked Kyle, like, "What'd you say to him during the embrace?" And Kyle's like, "But I also do that with like everybody, like like basically like, I'm a hugger." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's new. Like I've never heard of Kyle being that type of guy, right?" But we know that Kyle has an affinity for the wide receiver position, right? It's the position he played, it's the position he's passionate about, and Kyle Shanahan sincerely believes that if wide receivers do exactly what they're supposed to do, the team is better. And we know from John Lynch's words, Kyle Shanahan's words, that Jauan Jennings is what they want all of their wide receivers to be. You're limited. Or your physical abilities are just that. But if you can do what we're asking you to do with blocking and running routes, even though the ball's not coming to you, and then after the ball is caught, you continue blocking downfield and don't give up on a play because it's not there. You need to be running to the other side of where the ball carrier is and trying to continue those blocks, right? Jauan Jennings epitomizes what the 49ers want from all of their wide receivers. Forget the physical traits. He does have a value here, right? And watching him out there dancing and all, I'll be honest with you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of contract restructuring or extension already done. Like the way that he was out and dancing and everything at the first practice, he looked happy. He didn't like someone that was waiting to find out if he was going to get, and if I don't get, then what do we... That wasn't there. And maybe that's just the type of person Jauan Jennings is. Hey, I'm here for business. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, down in, down out, whether it counts or not. Like this, obviously we're not winning games right now, right? There's no game to win. But if he's out there, he could just be doing his job, but he looked really excited. And this take that I'm sharing with you guys now was something that I was saving for a Patreon episode. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced that something was already done and they just didn't release that information yet, But I do want to ask you guys on this same topic, if you were to extend Jauan Jennings, and I want you guys to think like as forward as possible with this, assume that Ayuk comes back by week 7 or 8 and he's back to true form, and Pearsall takes that step forward, and maybe Cowing is back after all the compliments, and we heard about all the hard work that he's done this offseason, and we know that he was working with Pearsall and Purdy and all that, right? Like, so if all these players take those steps forward, what kind of contract would you be willing to give Jauan Jennings? Forget that we need him right now. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Think forward, because is he another Kendrick Bourne type of guy, right? Like, we were comfortable moving on from Kendrick Bourne for a reason. And Kendrick Bourne was that third down guy here before Jauan Jennings was here. I want you guys to tell me, like, how you feel about Jauan, like, and looking forward. Like, how would you pay him if you were to do anything?
I do want to touch on Mike real quick. You brought it up. I do think it's a good point that Jauan is setting the example of what the 49ers want their wide receivers to come in and do. And when you have rookies in the building, offensive rookies, it kind of helps out with that. I think that him coming in, having a good attitude, I hope that makes BA feel kind of dumb for what he did. And I hope that like shapes him up too. I agree that there is a certain level of Kendrick Bourne-ness to the expectation of what Jauan Jennings will do, but I feel like more so than Kendrick Bourne, Jauan Jennings is like a chemistry guy. He's like a locker room guy. He's the offensive version of Dre Greenlaw, right? Sometimes you're going to pay him not so much on production, but for the vibes that he's going to bring to the locker room and the energy that he's going to bring. And sometimes that's more valuable than, you know, the actual numbers on the field, right? Getting out there and blocking is not going to show up in a stat sheet, but that matters. That example that he sets, like, hey, I want new money. And the report was, oh, he asked for a trade. And Kyle's like, he didn't ask for a trade. And, you know, people are like, oh, he's going to do the thing that BA did where he's going to hold in. Like we talked about this, right? Like he's going to mysteriously have a hamstring injury. Showed up day one, out on the field, dancing, having a good old time, like just vibing with who he is. And that to me speaks volumes about his character. And like, it made me feel, I was like, dang, man, now I feel bad for saying like he's got to be careful about the negotiation, but like he is being careful about it, right? He's like, I'm going to do this the same thing that I always did, but I'm letting you know, like, I'd like to get paid for last year. So to answer your question, I think you bump his salary for this year and then extend him another, I would say like total 2 years, 26 million, 2 years, 28 million. And then let it ride with that, because who do you really need in the next 2 seasons to re-sign, right? Demo's under contract through, I think, 2029. Kittle's through contract through 2028 or 2029. Purdy's taken care of. Warner's taken care of. Ayuk obviously got his money. Pearsall's a first-round draft pick, so he's on a 5-year potential rookie deal. You know, Cowing is in year 2, so he's got 3 more seasons. Like, who are you really looking at? You will have to pay a left tackle. Well, I'm saying counting Jauan Jennings this year, Mike. That's why I say 3 more years, because this is Cowing's second year, and so year 2, 3, and 4. So, you know, McCaffrey's under contract, I think, until 27 or 28. There's really nobody, right? I mean, I know Kyle really likes Jake Brendel and Colt McKivitz, but let's be real, like those are replacement level players at best, and he can fucking say he watches the tape and that they're good. We watch it too, Kyle, and they're really fucking not. You know, show me other centers around the league who literally, like Jake Brendel, just turn around and watch a play disastrously unfold before them. Like I can't, you know what I mean? So I think 2 years, 26 million, you can give him a little bit of an overpay, or 28 million. Even if you want to do 2 for 30 and give him 15 million a year, you can slightly overpay him because you have I think the 3rd highest cap space in the NFL, or 2nd highest behind, I think, the New England Patriots. And you already have 90 million in dead money. That's going to come off after this year. Like, are you really losing anything? Not really. Just give him the overpay, and then in 2 years you reevaluate. If he falls back down to earth and you still want him around, you sign him to a cheaper deal. If not, you let him walk, and no harm, no foul. I think the 49ers are really on like a reloading / rebuilding 3-year window with their core and their superstars. So that's kind of what you have to look at.
Yeah, for me, again, this kind of goes back to what I had asked the other day, or the other show, excuse me. Is he ever going to top this past season? And the 3 of us agreed no. So this contract, to me, you're kind of paying him a little bit for what he's done and not what you plan on him doing, right? It's kind of like and this is totally different players. It's not really that, but my memory goes that TJ Watt, right? Like TJ Watt just got the highest non-quarterback contract ever. Do they expect him to play at that level for another 5 to 6 years? Like, I don't think so. They're probably rewarding him and hoping that that level still is high. Jauan Jennings, I think, deserves to be extended. I would even be willing to go a little higher than Matt. I mean, I was thinking like two-year 35, maybe even 36, pushing it. Because the cap's going to continue to go up in a year or two. It's really not going to be that much money. I think you reward a player. You also, like you guys touched on, reward a player for doing it the right way. And I understand, he is kind of like, well, he went out in the media. I wish he would have done that. But still, it's like he showed up. He made his demand, his wants known, but he still showed up and participated. That is what you want the young guys to see. When you just had like 3-4 straight years of contract disputes going late into August, really late into August in some cases. Hey, Jauan didn't do that. So I would be looking to give him a 2-year, 35 million.
Man, that's awfully close to Mike Evans territory, and I don't think you can do that. You still have to be realistic, I think.
When did Mike Evans get extended, though?
Yeah, but he's still only making 20.5. Like, you're talking about 18 million for Jauan Jennings per season. I don't know about that.
I think what I would do is I would only give him a 1-year extension, and
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you give him a raise this year and give him 1 more year.
Right. So I would let him, like, with makeable incentives, like, so let's just play it out, right? Like, let's say you end up having another 900+ yard year. Let's say you got 10 touchdowns, right? You work those incentives with catches and first down conversions and, yards and touchdowns where you can earn up to, let's just say double what because his contract right now is 7.5, right? Okay, boom, you can make 15 million this year, and then next year you're on the books for another 12 million, right? Like, I don't know how that would break down as far as per year, but if those incentives are there, and if you don't make those incentives, well, you end up walking away with $12 million instead of 7.5 this year, right? If you don't make all of those incentives. But so you incentivize them, but if I'm the team, the way I spin it is, look, like, we have these guys already. We got the first round guy. We got BA. We're not going to be able to give you that kind of money that you want to get. You go out and have another good year, then maybe next year you can go somewhere else and get a huge contract the way that Kendrick Bourne did. You know what I mean? Where it's averaging 13 million. I think Kendrick Bourne signed 3 years, 39 million or something like that in New England.
Yep.
So it's like maybe you can go out there and get that Kendrick Bourne type of deal. But and you have to be honest, like Kyle said, right? No player in the NFL wants to play on their final year of their deal. This is just business, so we don't take it personal at all. And they have to spin it to him that way also. It's not personal, and not for nothing, we didn't anticipate the Ayuk injury. He's going to be back. We didn't anticipate the Cowling setback. He's going to be back. We got Ricky Pearsall here. And so you weren't part of our long-term plans. We'll pay you. We'll incentivize you. And then you can go out there and get that big bag later on with another team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying give him that. I'd be fine with them paying up to that amount, honestly. I'd be fine with it because it's like, is it going to break the bank for the 49ers to keep him? No. You reward a player for really, coming in clutch for you. It's a 7th-round pick. Like, he's a 7th-round pick. It's a great story. If Brock Purdy wasn't on this team, he would be the best 7th-round pick the 49ers probably ever had. So, but Brock Purdy does exist. So you got 2 7th-round picks out there. So, but yeah, I mean, 15 million would probably be realistic. Everybody's happy. I agree with the chat. Make it a very performance-based, incentive-structured deal where if you really feel like you can go out there and repeat what you just did, then you should have no problem earning this money. Kind of protects both sides. But we'll see. I really do like the fact that he showed up, though, and that it wasn't another, like I saw, was it Matt Mayoko was saying, he's going to have the mystery hamstring injury day one. That's what he was predicting. No. He showed up. He's participating. Yep. He's practicing. So shout out to Jauan for going about it the right way. I thought that was the clip of Kyle Shanahan saying that he hadn't requested a trade as well, but I guess that was a separate press conference where they asked him about that.
Yeah, that was during the Lynch and Shanahan presser 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, 3 days ago, where he said that he was like, no, he has not. They asked if he officially requested a trade and said no, he didn't officially do it. And if I'm not mistaken, the original post that we saw was Jauan Jennings wants a contract extension, and he could ask for a trade. I don't think that the original post said that he had requested
or he
it.
wants to be traded. That's
Yeah. And so it wasn't that he requested it. It's like, hey, guys, extend me, or he wants to be traded type of thing. And that goes without saying. Like, the agent is going to put that kind of stuff out there. And this is just the new age, and this is what John Lynch talked about in that presser when they were together. This is just how they negotiate now, right? Like, we have to remember that social media didn't exist when we fell in love with football, right? All of us on this stage now are over 35, right? So, I think, Zach, how old are you? You're over 35, right?
Oh, no, I'm 31. 32.
32. Okay.
Well,
I don't know how old you were when I don't know how old you were when you fell in love with football, but when I fell in love with football, the closest thing to social media was Terrell Owens working out in his driveway. It's like, oh man, this guy is not happy, and we all found out about it, right? Like, that was new, right? And so now we get to see their thoughts on Instagram, we get to see their thoughts on X, we get to see their everything, right? Some of these guys have their own YouTube pages, right? We get to see their thoughts all the time. This is new, but part of the negotiations now is, hey, do me a favor, take all the team shit out of your profile. Like, just remove it really quick. You don't have to get rid of your pictures on Instagram. Just archive them for me really quick. Wait till we get this deal done, then throw all that shit back up. That type of thing. Like, right? That's just part of the negotiations now. And none of us fans like it, but even the part about requesting a trade, demanding a trade, giving us permission to seek a trade, all of that stuff is part of the course now, and that's what John Lynch was saying. This doesn't just happen with us here in San Francisco. This is happening all around the league, everywhere, for every position. So that's just what. And again, Myles Garrett wrote the long-ass goodbye letter, and look at where he is. I mean, he said farewell to Cleveland fans. I'm here to chase greatness, and I'm not here to chase money. And then what did he do? He signed there for money. Like, I mean, it's just part of how they negotiate now.
So I had pulled up this tweet from Coach Yak, quoting Ian Rappaport. He said, I think what's going on is a good faith situation between the 49ers and Jauan Jennings. The 49ers tell Jauan to come to practice and do everything he needs to do to get ready for the season, and we'll take care of you. It wouldn't surprise me if they give him a 2-year extension close to $13 million per year before the season starts. That would keep him with the team through the 2027 season. Matt, spot on. Pat yourself on the back. That's pretty much what you
I mean, I would say that. That's 1 year longer than I said. I want him through 26.
True.
So just raise this year, 1 more year next year. So not a big deal there, but yeah, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, maybe there is a gentleman's handshake at play and saying, we'll take care of you. Just come in.
What would be the? Yeah, I mean, that would be the thing, right? It would have to be a handshake agreement of like, hey, we'll get this done. But if there's terms done, they just need to announce it already. Yeah. Don't Micah Parsons it and then get all the way to camp without actually talking to the agent.
By the way, can we just take a second to laugh at the Cowboys? Like, Micah Parsons at the end of last season was literally saying, "I'll take a team-friendly deal. They're not really negotiating with me at all, but I'm willing and ready to sign that deal." They don't. Myles Garrett signs. Max Crosby signs. T.J. Watt signs. You're not going to give Micah Parsons less than T.J. Watt just got, right? Like, you can't. So now
he's
you have
younger.
Yeah. Exactly. You got to give him now a record-setting contract because you took too long. And then when this is all going out there, you got Jerry Jones going out there and saying, just because we signed Micah Parsons doesn't mean we're going to have Micah Parsons. We paid a quarterback, $60 million, and we only had him for a couple of games. Like, congratulations, you just not only threw Micah Parsons under the bus, you just threw your fucking quarterback under the bus for no reason.
For no reason. Dak just catching
dude.
strays out there, bro. That shit was funny. Yeah, I mean, and the Cowboys can be summed up, in my opinion, with a sound effect. I mean, it's just what they are. Like, it's just womp, 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 womp. Like, that's it. That's the Cowboys for you, man.
Every time I think of the Cowboys, I think of was it divisional round the 49ers played them in, or wild card weekend a couple years back? And I just hear Tony Romo, oh, no, they'll have time. They've practiced this. Oh, I don't know, Jim. I don't know. Oh, it can't end like that. Is that how it ended?
Yep.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Oh, man.
Love it.
Jerry gave a fourth for Lance. Yep.
Apparently,
start him.
Apparently, they had a handshake agreement in the offseason. Like, he met with Jerry Jones, and they had,
Really?
like, between them, had a handshake agreement. And then Micah, I guess, told him, like, hey, yeah, go ahead and, talk with my agent or whatever. And that pissed Jerry Jones off. Like, what do you mean talk to your agent? Like, this is a done shit. So, like, it's probably a combination of both, right? But Micah Parsons is a good player, man. Like, just give him his money and move on.
You're not.
There's no way that this ends well. We've seen what dragging into training camp can do. It leads to diminished production and increased injury risk. Like, why are they doing that? I don't know. Dallas is a dumpster fire, man.
Not for nothing. Micah Parsons probably should be the highest paid edge rusher. Or not edge rusher because he's a linebacker technically, right? But
he's like a 3-4 outside linebacker, but he is that's technically an edge rusher, yeah.
Right. He should be the highest paid based off of age and production. He's got to be the highest paid guy. Like he's just got to be it. So I mean, the Cowboys didn't do themselves a favor. We sat here and said it with George Kittle, right? Like, we got to hurry up and extend them, hurry up and extend them, hurry up and extend them. And then boom, here come 3 more contracts for tight ends. Like, oh man, we really shot ourselves in the foot.
Yep.
We've even fallen victim to it ourselves here. Do you remember with oh God, what's the guy's name? Trent Baalke resetting the wide receiver market for a guy that was never a 1,000-yard receiver. Oh, down there in Jacksonville, right? Like he went out there and did it, and it's like, damn, man, now we're screwed because we're gonna have to pay. Was it Ayuk? Who was it at the time? Debo? Ayuk? No, I think it was Debo. It was before Ayuk got his deal, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was a while ago that they. What's the kid's name that they said? It doesn't matter. All right,
Riley? Is it the Riley kid?
No. It was the guy from Arizona.
Oh.
God dang it.
Malcolm. No. Michael.
Hold on.
Who are you talking about?
I'll get it.
The
wide receiver that went to
Jags
Jacksonville. They extended him. He was never a 1,000-yard receiver. Jaguars.
Baalke gave him.
Come on, chat.
Christian Kirk.
Christian freaking Kirk. Yes, Christian Kirk. They gave him like really, really good money. He was never even a 1,000-yard receiver. And then I think we were supposed to be extending Debo that offseason or something like that. And it's like, what the hell did Baalke do? He screwed the Niners again, right? Like, it's just it happens. We've seen it happen time and time again here. But now the Niners are extending guys early in the season, so maybe we can learn from our mistakes, man. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lyle, good point. CD, the GOAT for holding out of camp, getting paid, having a good year. We had Ayuk miss camp, and he was ass. And then he got hurt, but yeah.
He was out there today. I don't know if you guys saw him. He was running like half-speed routes.
Yep.
And coaching up the wide receivers also. Sorry.
Yep.
No. I saw a clip, and it was, Purdy's best incompletions, passes that weren't caught, but not for Purdy's fault. Like, throwing a dime, like that pass to the corner of the end zone in that wild card round.
Both of them are to Brandon Ayuk.
Yes, and it was week 1 of last year, Monday Night Football versus the Jets, and he throws that dime to Brandon Ayuk, and Brandon Ayuk lays out for it, and he can't come up with it. And I just remember the collective, frustration in 49ers world of just
yeah.
You just held
What
out
happens
for
when you don't go to
long.
camp, dude?
Yes, and you can't even fucking make that. Like, that would have been a great throw. Thank you. Yeah, no red shorts.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you guys remember that whole debacle? Brandon Ayuk having a
Mike,
tantrum
do the other one.
shorts?
I have to hear the other one.
Excuse me, bitch.
Yeah, he knew exactly which one I was talking about. That shit is so funny.
The red shorts thing was such...
Every time somebody says something dumb at work, like that plays in my head now.
I love that sound effect, man. I'm sorry.
It's so fun. What is it from?
There's this lady that was cursing out McDonald's. She goes, "Aren't you supposed to ask me if I want to supersize it?" And then the lady says to her behind the counter, "Ma'am, from the looks of you, you shouldn't supersize it." And she's like, "Excuse me, bitch." I throat punched that bitch. I have to send you guys the clips. It was great. I thought it was real when I first saw it. I thought it was real, but it turns out the lady did this over and over and over again. So it was like yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Apparently, I don't see anything that George Pickens got hurt, Brandon.
What I saw, he was balling out there.
Yeah, I searched his name real quick. I see he had cramps that time of the month.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's cool.
That's about it.
I know we're running out of time. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, go ahead. Anything? We're wrapping up. So, is there anything else that I didn't touch on that you guys want to do?
Yeah, there was something else that I wanted to touch on. There's some clips going around of Christian McCaffrey running today, and it looks like he was talking while he was running, or maybe yelling while he was running. It was kind of slow motion, and there's no mouth guard, so I couldn't tell because there's no contact, right? Well, I want to know what your guys' expectations are for Christian McCaffrey this year, and I'm going to preface it with this. Normally coming off of an injury, McCaffrey is a beast. Do you think that he's going to give Saquon a run for the best running back in the year in the NFL this year? So it was him 2 years ago, then it was Barkley last year. Does he have a bounce back season? What are your guys' expectations for Christian McCaffrey?
Hear me out. 2,000 total scrimmage yards. With the 49ers schedule right now, it's possible. That's why I'm also taking Purdy MVP right now, because the schedule, it's based off of the regular schedule, guys. It's not based off of playoffs. Not based on any of that. It's based on the regular season. Purdy's easily going to throw for 4,000 yards. I'm knocking on wood right now. 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. I don't know the rest of it, but that's what I'm betting right now. So I say 2K over under is the number for Christian McCaffrey.
I see where you stopped, and I saw a little debate back and forth between Grant Cohn and our guy Matt, and Grant pointed out that every year Purdy's interceptions, they go up and up and up and up, and that touchdown interception ratio is getting closer and closer to 1-to-1. Are you confident in it? You gave us the yards, you gave us the touchdowns, but you didn't go with the interceptions. Are you guys confident that Purdy can take a step forward also? So Matt, I want your answer for the Christian McCaffrey thing, and then we can go back around again for the quarterback expectations, because it's going to be big.
I'm really hoping that with Jordan James and Isaac Guerrero that they really kind of temper their usage of Christian McCaffrey a little more. We know that's not going to be the case because Shanahan never does that shit. But if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, I think he can get close to 2,000 yards, all-purpose yards. That's not out of the realm of possibility. I'd say probably around 1,800 total scrimmage yards and like 12 touchdowns.
Damn. All right. What was the second question, Mike?
Purdy.
Brock Purdy, man. This is going to be crucial. Brock Purdy's success and failures are going to go hand in hand with the Niners' success. Now, I do think that the Niners can kind of hide some of it. I expect the run game to be significantly improved this year. Like Matt said, we would want to see some of those other guys come in and take the place of Christian McCaffrey or kind of, keep his legs fresh. Whether it's by force, we want to see it by healthy rotation and choices from Kyle Shanahan, right? But we know that we have the horses in the stable to do it, to execute it. I think the run game can mitigate some of the passing woes that we had. And so what are your guys' expectations for Purdy this season? Like, this is going to be a crucial position, right? I hate saying that the quarterback is the most important position on the field, but it really, really is. So what do you guys think about it?
Statistic-wise, is that what you mean? Or
not statistically. I mean, just do you think that Purdy's going to have a bounce back year? I think that we can all sit here and say that it was a down year. He didn't live up to the expectations, and there were a ton of reasons why: the offensive line, the injuries to the wide receiver position, and all that, the losing Christian McCaffrey and all. Right. So there's a ton of reasons. But how do you see this year playing out for us?
I do. I mean, I just said I'm taking him MVP odds, so I think he's going to have a huge bounce back year. I think he would either way, but the schedule's definitely going to make that easier for him. It's lining up perfectly. The first few weeks may be a little shaky when you don't have a solidified wide receiver core, but once that kind of gels and he starts getting more rhythm and connections with the guys, and Ayuk comes back, maybe Demarcus Robinson, if he's suspended, comes back, I think he's going to have a great year. I really do. Matt?
I don't know, man. I think Purdy's going to have a good year. And the Grant thing, is he technically correct about the interception percentage? Technically. But he would have done better if he would have said touchdown to interception ratio. That would have been a better thing to do. But he can't do that because Purdy's touchdown percentage also fell off way more than his interception percentage went up. And what that tells me is that the weapons aren't weaponing. that the injuries actually played a huge part of it. If you look his 2022 season when he was a rookie and came in, his interception percentage was 2.4%, right? 2023 when he was getting some potential MVP looks, 2.5%. Last year, 2.6%. Like we're talking 0.2% increase. That's a nothing burger. But you look at the touchdowns, it went from 31 touchdowns to 20. Why is that? Well, when, again, Jauan Jennings is your leading receiver, you got fucking problems. And if you don't think Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel missing games, I mean, everybody was basically holding water for Deebo because of the pneumonia in week 3, right? So Ricky Pearsall shot. So now you're running out there with Jauan Jennings and Chris Conley. And like you have George Kittle, but we were all complaining about how few targets George was getting because he was blocking everywhere. Oh, because Trent Williams was hurt. You know, at a certain point, you got to just be like, hey, man, like the weapons aren't there. And so I think that you have to kind of take that into account. And while while he's technically correct, his interception percentage went up. Like fucking miss me with a 0.2%. That's margin of error. That tells me that Brock Purdy's not making any worse throws than he was making before. It's just the weapons around him can't make the plays to get touchdowns. So, like, what do you want, man? And we all complained last year about how the 49ers got no separation from their wide receivers. Like, none. And then he would do the thing where, like, they would say, oh, the separation percentage is, like, bad. And then him and all his buddies would be like, oh, well, it's only on the routes where they're targeted or whatever the fucking excuse was, right? It's always a goalpost move. But until the interception percentage goes up, like, a crazy amount or whatever, I mean, his yards per attempt were still good. Like, you know, his average yards per attempt was 8.5, which isn't even his lowest for his career. I mean, he still had 3,800 yards passing. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, they were in position to score where you lose out from the special teams being an issue. You lose out from the weapons being bad. I think it's a little overwrought. So I guess I need to I would say Brock Purdy has a bounce back year. I think he breaks his own passing yards record. I think he throws for 35 touchdowns. And he'll probably still be around like 10 to 14 picks. But that's just the nature of it, I think. Believe it or not, he threw 455 passes last year, which is a lot for a Kyle Shanahan offense.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that Brock Purdy has 4,500 yards this year. 4,500 yards. The Niners haven't had that 5,000-yard quarterback, but that's because we haven't been trailing in games to do that. However, I do think that they're going to use Christian McCaffrey out the backfield as a receiving weapon a lot more this year, just so he's not taking as much of a beating trying to run behind that offensive line. I can see him, faking like he's got the handoff, breaking out to the right or to the left, and then boom, here's 12 yards right here. You know what I mean? And so I like what Zach said about the 2,000 scrimmage yards. I would not be surprised if Christian McCaffrey's running and rushing and receiving yards are very, very similar this year in total. So I think Purdy's going to have a hell of a year. I think he's going to have a bounce-back year. The touchdowns, that number kind of scares me because I would like to see them use guys like Garendo to just pound it in, use that big physical body if we get down there in red zone. I don't want to see a lot of, pass attempts down there because too much can happen when that ball's in the air in the compacted area, right? Like, let's be smart. Let's run this ball here 2 out of the 3 times if you get a first and goal. So.
I think, well, in 2023, Purdy had 31 touchdown passes and probably could have had more. There was no real red zone threat. I think, you can kind of adjust for that this year, but I think we go back to the 2023 Niners where there was a lot of big play touchdowns. And that's kind of where I see a lot of Purdy's passing touchdowns come from. I agree with you when you get down to the nitty gritty, just run the ball, right? And Christian McCaffrey was really good for that. By the way, he actually was really good in the red zone and on those, goal to goes with from 3 yards out, he was really good at punching in the ball. So if he stays healthy, again, Garendo, like you talk about, I don't see why that would be unreasonable. I just expect a lot more big plays, especially with a good special teams unit that could potentially get them closer to the end zone to begin with.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. Again, thanks for staying with us on the day delay. We appreciate you. Training camp is back 7 days from now. The Hall of Fame game will be over. If you guys are just as much of a football nerd as I am, I know you guys are excited for that.
Zach, we got a request here. I think we can accommodate that. Just announce on our Instagram that we're going to go live.
Yeah, post on the story.
That's a reasonable request. Thanks for bringing that up, Ellis. We didn't really think about it that way. I think we have somebody that does a lot of our Instagram stuff for us, right?
Joey's been handling it, actually.
Okay, so we'll just give him the heads up and he can post it.
Yeah. All right. Mike, sure the folks already know, but please let them know where to find you.
Guys, I'm going to start first and foremost with my guys over here at 49ers Hive. Make sure you guys are subscribed over there if you are watching from the Nothing But Niners pages right now. We are live on our YouTube page and we are live on our Twitch page. But if you are watching on those pages, get your asses over to the 49ers Hive YouTube page and subscribe. It is right down there underneath Matt. All right. And if you guys want some bonus content other than, what I bring to you guys on this YouTube page, go on over to Patreon, patreon.com/NB9ERS. And like Zach was saying, man, we have meaningful football. And a week from today, we're going to see snaps that are going to make and break someone's future. So I think that deserves a round of applause. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to be here. And I might do what Zach said he's going to do. Let's make it a thing. Let's get some wings, right? Let's go live for the first maybe couple of drives or something. Let's have some fun with it, So football is back. It counts now. And let's have some fun.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Without further ado, Matt, take us home.
Yeah, real quick update on the 49er Hive bets for the training camp coverage. We all have 1 point and we're working on the second one. So kicker make percentage spreadsheets, yes or no? I mean, technically I'm going to call that a yes because Kyle Shanahan came out and was like, hey, this guy did this guy did that. And we had combined kickers 8 for 8 with their longest last one being 55 yards. That seems like a point to me. So everybody answered yes for that one. We got a point. And the one that we're working on still, like I said earlier today, when Grant Cohn went over all the stuff today, he did insinuate that Mac Jones throws with more anticipation than Brock Purdy. He saved the point from being fully administered because he said, I'm not saying he's better than Brock, but we all know that shit is building and we all know it's coming. So we got like 1.5 right now. So that's the update.
And I love that you held his hand to the fire. We know you're doing it. Just tell us when you're going to do it. I love that exchange between you two. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I actually was like, look, we know it's coming, man. Everybody knows it's coming. You're going to call for Mac Jones to start because you're going to say he's a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. We all know it. So
it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. He hit me with the buddy. I don't know. I must have touched a nerve when I was just like, hey man, we're already talking about quarterback camp picks. We're already talking about picks in camp, football's back, and that must have touched a nerve, but that's fine. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. Football is indeed back, and I couldn't be more excited about it. We're going to be here with you each and every week. There's no more off season for us, baby. We're back as well. So for Mike, hit him up on all the socials. Hit him up, Nothing But Niners. You know where to find him. Zach, the best host in the business. And for myself, thank you all for joining us here tonight. We couldn't do this without you. So until next time, go Niners.